So I would like to make a brief announcement before we start the teaching. In a few weeks, December 3rd, His Eminence Avakrita Rinpoche's book will be available for purchase.
Pande tsawe lama rumba che, dake che upe me dekyo ni katin chimbe go ni je sont. Ko son to jo ngo do tsa do so sanje cho dong tsu chu chon nam la chang cho pa do da ni jab son chi. Dake shin su jive son nam che, ro la ben zir sanje ro ba sho sanje cho dong tsu chu chon nam la chang cho pa do da ni jab son chi. Dake shin su jive son nam ro la ben zir sanje ro ba sho sanje cho dong tsu chu chon nam la chang cho pa do da ni jab son chi. Dake shin su jive son Rola Panzer Sanjan Robasho, Simje Tamje, Dewa, and Dewi, the Dembashu, Donghong, Jadan Trawash, Donghong may be Dewa, and Mendrawash, Junior, and Chowdown the Travi, Donyom, and never Chorochi, like it down the foundation, get a room got the Maya. Draw a Ganjadana Chasama Tamje, get the Dagi Chet and Do. Trashidale, good morning, everyone. So, welcome to Sakya Monastery. Join the Chinese meditation. And today I was asked to talk something about beginner Buddhism and people who not familiar anything want to become Buddhist. So, I am an old Tibetan woman practitioner. And I share you with my own experience. And it is very good to know, good to learn any religion. They all are very respected. All the religion benefit for all the sentient beings, caring and loving, caring. But I'm a Buddhist, so I can tell you something my own experience. So I can see looks like all of you, it's senior and Buddhist practitioner. I don't know I can offer any more than that. But something I can remind you that, which is very important to, we are such a fortunate to become in a human form, with all these good qualities, and we have physically and also the freedom to practice, and the teachers around, and the teachings around, and we are really lucky. You have to remember that every day. That's most important. We call Milu Rinpoche, which is this so many Milu human beings, but we are one of the very unique and very special, like precious human being. And you remember that. And so, and the practice religion, especially Buddhist religion, and it's not only for this life, but life after life. We try to reach in Buddha realm of, and follow the teachings And as you all know, Lord Buddha Shakyamuni came in this world is 2,600 years ago. So if we are following these teachings. But as you know, all the religion, all are different, has a custom, tradition. And so this is the Tibetan Buddhism. When you're really interested, I know you're interested, that's why here. So interested, you want to come and receiving some teaching and want to follow that. That means when you come, and we in the tradition is you are very happy, joyfully, and wear something nice and clean clothes, and to come and respectfully come to temple. And then there's sometime you just join for the pujas or meditations, which is okay. Sometimes there's lamas teaching, lamas and monks and nuns. And for example, like and then you will respect with the triple gem, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And the Buddhas who give, teach us, leading. And Dharma is his doctrine. That's what we follow. And the Sanghas, those are the lamas, monks who are in the following his teaching. And so we respect those three triple gems. When you come in, we all know how to respect, not only just the Buddhist temple, but any church. You have to really respect nicely, quietly, and happily, and remove shoes. And some religion different, some religion wear a hat, some religions have to remove, like Buddhism, and the hats and so forth. So you come nice and happily, quietly, and then you can do the prostrations. And then if there is teaching by lamas, it is very important that you have to concentrate that teaching. And what a lama's teaching is, of course, all the teachers will teach in the Buddhism in the temple. When there is we teachers will mention usually, there's when we come to this religious teaching and special teachings, we have there's many faults because we live with lots of defilement, but there's main three they call which is three faults in the container when you come like in the teaching. So when you come in, you respectfully sit down wherever you are. We usually sit down with the lotus position or sitting on a chair. You don't put one feet on the other. You sit just down like a chair, like I'm doing, because I can't sit on the lotus position in my knee. So you stand very carefully, listen to the teaching. And this three faults is first faults, and container, like you want to put a substance in there, that's the teaching is. So many of you already heard this many times and learned this, but we in our duty post to tell this. So when you receive the teaching, when the Lama is giving a holy word, you have to really listen carefully, word by word. If you have question, you can raise that, but try to listen. And this is a Dharma word. And instead of just looking around, talking with someone, or thinking maybe what I do after this, what I did yesterday. Don't think that. If you do that, then the container is upside down. You don't get any teaching in there. You don't understand any. And that is first fault. And the second fault is when Lama's teaching, the word you try to finish it, and then you're happy. Oh, this is really make me something in my life, and not only this life, may life after life. I can help others. I can help myself to very carefully and listening. If you don't listen, and then you're looking around how this temple is, the painting's nice, somebody's wearing nice clothes and so forth. That means like the container is leaking, no bottom, so goes through there. And after your teaching is done, you don't get anything. And then the third false is, and you're thinking this Lama's teaching, it is really true. And I believe some, but not all. That's really makes sense or not. Maybe I find a better understanding. And this sounds like a weird thinking. And that is very bad false. It's the container is dirty. And you put the things, whatever teaching goes, like contaminated. You don't get any blessing, you don't understand anything. So these three faults we have to be aware of. And of course, every teaching is a holy teaching, is very, very good. When we are Tibetan Buddhists, we cannot make people become Buddhist, but this is our own good. In the Tibetan Buddhists, they call it Nangpa, which is our own inner practice. And we are, like I mentioned you earlier, we are precious human birth we came. We're not going to waste this. We're going to use this for something for ourselves and others. So I'm going to reach one of these days, Buddha realm or enlightenment realm, to help all others. So we're not, and never too late. And you all should have confident self-esteem. I can do it. I can follow. I can give my time and to do practice. But usually we do ourselves as a loss, taking care of our body and what to wear and all this, and eating 3-4 meals, jogging and hiking, swimming. That's just outside our body we take. We want to do something in a mind training, to think, what can I do? Besides just taking care of myself, I can help others. And the Buddhist teaching is a loving and compassion toward to all the sentient beings and 6 realm of sentient beings. And this is all the teaching. And then when you come to teachings and the temples or visiting lamas, things, if you're interested in the teaching, you always bring something offering. Doesn't have to be big, whatever from your heart. Any offering, any substance offering you bring, because that tells connection. And we will say, don't come empty-handed. That if you ask some, pray for me, pray to do this and that, lamas and community, they pray for me, they're asking, yes, pray might help, but you have to have some connection. You do some offering. And this is very, very good. That helps for strong connection. And then once you're really interested, become Buddhist. And then you do take the refuge. And that is the main becoming Buddhist. And then there is some commitment, which is something you cannot take, you cannot do things this. And once you take the refuge, and then after that you should come to the practices. And when the Lama's giving the initiations and teachings, like I mentioned you, listening very carefully, and do not use prayer wheel or mala. You have to concentrate. During the teachings, you cannot use any of those. Those are the ones like pujas or prayers you can use. Or if you become a Buddhist, it is necessary to have some of the Buddha's objects, like in mala, it's good to have it. And then, of course, David always tells us in every Sunday is respect Buddha's objects like books, malas. And of course, Triple Gem, Buddha and Dharma and Sanghas, we always respect. And the Sanghas, the Buddha, like I told you, the one who teach us how to become, to help the others. And Dharma is his doctrine, his teaching. That's what we're doing. And the Sanghas, like monks, they are ordained. They give up everything, their family, children, samsara, and they're doing practice. We have to really respect the Sanghas. And of course, we all are, like I said, this in Milyu Rinpoche, we all have something, the Buddha nature. And many times we don't recognize that. So we have to recognize, do something yourself, meditation, pray, and come more often, or to do your self, so some practice and help. And Buddha's teaching, like loving and kindness, we cannot harm any beings, including the insects, any movement, anything. If you can't help relieve their suffering, you cannot harm. And there's many ways we harm. We don't realize. Physically, verbally, just even looking. That's what we live with the defilements. So when you practice deeper, every day, pray, do the mantras, and will reduce that. And we get more calmer, we understand better. And of course, every one of us have a family, society, group, and makes more friendly and helping each other. And when we do the Buddhist practice, of course, when we're starting with generating, like doing the all pray, you really important to starting with, like I'm just talking to beginners. You try to pray, and Buddha, the Triple Gem, Buddha and Dharma Sangha, and you can start at your father on the right, mother on the left, your family, children, all the front. And because Buddha's teaching is vast, and when you starting with, you have to really starting with something you're familiar and easier to pray that. And then, of course, once you do more practice, you can extend this. And so your relatives, your loved ones, even your pets, all you can give the blessing. And the ones then even more like your neighbors, your country, and the whole world, and the whole universe, and all the 6 realms of the universe. And many practitioners know that, and that's what we do. So it is very important to thinking and this kind. So when in the Buddhist religion, it's necessary to find good teacher. Of course, you have your Buddha nature, but you have to understand that's how this works. So when you go to teachers, and hardest part is finding right teacher, and a teacher that who carries transmission, who has lots of experience, and who's good at teaching for proper way and good path. And so you can go at the teacher, and you can look that teacher is you. Today's you're easy to find it all over, but you don't look. There's just a high ranking or looks good or anything, something advertised. You don't look that. You look with the teacher who carries a really proper transmission and teaching good, and also, of course, there's many teachers. Sometimes is you yourself are connected stronger, and that's something to do with the previous life, maybe. Of course, you're interested in become Buddhism and finding teacher, but you have to search right teacher. And once you find teacher, and then you go for it and follow that teaching. And you don't need to look many teachers. But of course, we in Tibetan Buddhism, we have 4 sets in Buddhism. It's Nimapa, Sakyapa, Kagyupa, Gelupa. They all Lord Buddha Shakyamuni's followers. And you may see, if you go different centers, you may see they do a little bit different way, but the main teaching and Buddha's teaching is all the same. The main difference is like lineages. The lamas, each lama have their own view, how they accomplished, and the lineage prayer, and dedication part, where you, like we do here, all the long life for our own teachers, so forth. That's the only different. Of course, there are some different rhythms and chanting things. That's different. That's completely different. But the teaching is the same. All the Buddhists follow it. You can go for. So, and then you go to these teachers around. You can go to receive initiation, or it's get blessing. But your own teacher, who are you really connected with your heart, that is always with you. And this teacher will lead you for not only this life, but life after life, until you reach the Buddha realm. And you don't, and the problem in the West is, so many things, so many modern things, so problem is, if you see the newspaper and advertise, and these teachers, it's just, everybody sounds like a holiness. In Tibet, my time, there's only a few holiness in there. But now, looks to me, is so many holiness, some I don't even know. And so you look to advertise, not advertise what to, but you have to look really background. See, are you really connected to the teaching? Are you really getting something helping you, your life? Or this is you have to find. Not just what it says what. In the same way, there's many books. And my students said, I'm Buddhist, I read many books, but never met teacher. Some books are good, the understanding and easier to meeting the teacher, yes. But you have to find a teacher and you take the refuge. And the refuge means bringing in the Buddhism. If you didn't receive the refuge, Buddha's refuge, you are Buddha's practitioner, interested, but not really in it. When you take refuge, and then this teacher has commitment to take care of the student. Student have commitment, follow that teaching. And so you don't need lots of all of this, but this just follow Mahayana Buddhism, and carefully, sincerely, and every day you should do some meditation once you become Buddhist. Like I said, we cannot make you not come to Buddhist that because you own good. If that's, you see, it's not really, doesn't make any sense. It's just kind of, okay, I'll go different. That's okay. It's your own choice. But like I'm an old practitioner, I went through so many meeting so many lamas and experience, and try to help the others. That's my duty. And so that's what I try to tell. And once you really get something in their teaching, and you yourself will know how much changed yourself, how much change you're around. You're much calmer. And of course, you know, you have to go step by step, especially in the West is the starting. It seems to me there always new Buddhists starting, but it's even there's many years ago, still it looked like starting. But you know, Buddhist practices, more you put out, deeper you go, and more makes sense. So we are here, it's precious human form here, and we all can do things. We can help ourselves, we can do others, we can do the world. It's each individual responsibilities to doing and helping all the sentient beings. And it's not good to waste anything. Like I said, it's never too late. And you may think, I'm young, I can just work hard, make lots of money. Then later maybe I go pilgrimage to meet the lamas. Then it's too late. We all know life is impermanent. We don't know. We planned for tomorrow, next year. Even you're sick in the bed, you think it's planned other things. But we don't know. You have to impermanent keep in mind all the time. And that helps for around your family and your whatever around you, and it makes all of us have a duty to think impermanent. Life is impermanent. Especially today's world, don't know there's so many ways you die. Unlike, you know, when I was raised. But of course, there's a lots of lamas teaching today, like, you know, teaching different language like English, Chinese, all other languages, you know, the lamas teach, which is very, very good. Okay, I am in the old, I only most time goes to the old tradition. And when we do some pujas with the lamas, they can read the iPad. I can't. I can't even push them and lose everything. I have to have my old book carry everywhere. So that's, you know, happens. So anyway, so if you have any question, I don't see anybody beginners. You look like all senior and practitioners. But I just kind of reminding you, it's just what important. Every day, just think more inner, not just outside. Just out is what it is. You know. It's just most important whenever you come in, like, you know, respectful with the temples. Of course, every church, every country, even the family, all have a rule or regulations, which is a Tibetan culture and the Tibetan, religion is strong connected with Buddhism. So we respect. It is good to learn that, so then you will know what you are doing. Every culture is very, for some just regular culture. I made lots of mistakes when I came here. It's different culture, different, but it's very important to learn the culture too. Any questions? I think you all know all the practitioners, old practitioners. If you have something question, that's fine. But other than that, I don't see any new one here. No question? Yes, Marianne?
There are some new people here, and for their sake, they're concerned, some of them are concerned with doing the wrong thing coming here, doing wrong, you know, it's like it's bad, and because they don't know the protocol of coming to in here, and I just wanted to put that out there for their sake, because they think, because they don't know, they do something wrong, it's really bad.
Oh, I'm glad that there are some new people. It's very good. Please welcome to such a monastery. You're interested to practice Buddhism. That's very good. And we have the lamas and teachers here. And I'm usually not here only. They just some teachings on Sundays. But if you have any questions, always welcome. You can write an email. You can write, ask the lamas. They all can answer. And questions about your, something, Dharma, is very, very good. That means you are interested. So our duty is help to whatever we can, and especially like my case is my own experience. I can help. And it's just welcome. And of course, we have greeters here, and they will help you to how to proceed coming in the monastery too. Yes, Steve.
I'm sorry, I'll start.
That's a great question. We are in samsara. It started already. So we can try to get away from that. Okay? So any other question? Yes.
So there is a teaching I hear a lot in Buddhism about how your parents are your greatest, they're sort of, because they challenge you a lot, because they can cause you a lot of trouble, even they can be seen as your greatest teachers, and we do a lot of visualizing them with us in our practices. If a practitioner has a strong difficulty with relating to the parents, there is a lot of difficulty in the relationship. Is it okay to, think of, if we can't think kindly of our parents, if we sort of substitute them for like a Lama, Guru, Buddha, and or do you just have to,
Parents is parents. You brought in this world by parents. No matter, almost every parents, they want their child is the best. They protect, maybe not the way you want to hear, but it's very important. You have to respect the parents. And also, pray for. I know that some parents may not want you to come certain, like the religion, so but their background different. That's okay. It's your own, freedom. You don't talk back when they try the best. In the Tibetan Buddhism, our parents and the teacher are most important. Parents, one who brought us precious human being here, no matter how they treated. I'm sure they tried the best their child, even child is not doing good. And the teacher is who give you the wisdom and the teaching, and especially Buddha Dharma. You have to really respect your parents. And I remember when we first came here, there were lots of, this is 60s, and lots of students, rich family students don't want to go to university, and the parents pushing very hard, and they were looking something different path, and come to, Buddhism, ask a lot of questions and things, and parents didn't like that at all. Of course they did. They wanted them to have educate. And Dajir Rinpoche Christmas time or Thanksgiving, he buys the candy bars and give them, go back to give your parents. And then later, some parents say, yeah, the Buddhism, there is something there. They found out. So, parents are always, it's very important. The main thing, we can repay the parents' kindness. You have to suffer to pay the respect, okay?
I'm going to ask the same question again with a little bit. When the parent is alcoholic and abusive and maybe has some mental disorder and is crazy and beating the person or saying very strange things. And I remember there was a case where we took in a child whose mother was, I don't know, maybe schizophrenic, but she was very, very abusive with the child and hurt her and cut her and nasty things. And we actually came and brought her, we got some help from both Dagmo and Kusho at the time. But can you give some advice for people when they're struggling at that deep of very, very difficult parents?
Yes.
That, I know all parents try, but some parents they've lost it. They've lost their own mind.
Yes, I hear that those are lots of too. So you still have to help where the parents don't want to see the children that way because they have no control. It's overdone, they damaged them. And they maybe don't want the children yelling and fighting lots because the embarrassing and stressed and regret lots of things, didn't do the proper way. But you have to come to help. If you can't help the front, help through some other friends. Yes, you have to help much as you can. And not easy. Not easy, yes. But I'm sure there is some way you can help them. I know there's a lot of things happening. And many children don't realize they were abused, different father, mother, and all those. Yes, there's a lot. This is what we suffer in this world. Every day we, get up in the morning, we always something worried about. Worried our life, worried our family, worried about work and things. But when they pray, will help you understand. This is like Steve said, it's a samsara. In the samsara we are. But when you do the practice, it's for everybody, just not oneself. And you can calmer, you can understand the way of the talking with your friends, a teacher, and who understand. Yes, they can help that. It is not easy.
I'll ask one last follow-up question to just sort of cap off this long set of questions. Is there a particularly powerful, helpful practice you would recommend for sort of purifying strong negative emotions towards caregivers, parents, like that? People, you have hatred, you have these strong negative feelings. Just like a practice you'd recommend to help to transform those emotions into something you can use in practice.
Yeah, that's what we practice in Generally, Avalokiteshvara meditation is the one the best for us to do the mantra, especially the who are kind of against you, harm you. Be kind, make friend, sorry for, because this is my way I'm doing. Don't stop me, but I pray for you. And someone is doing is not purposely hurting you. Maybe they didn't like that because they care about you. Like if you're only parents, they care about you, something they want good. but you have to just pray for and understand, and then they will understand that too. We all born as individual, we're going to die the individual. We can't take anything with us. That is why we really practice Buddha Dharma. When you leave this world, doesn't matter. You have a rich, famous, many cars, many buildings, lots of money and so forth. You have to leave everything behind, your loved ones, everyone, except you taking your consciousness and what you did in this life. That follow you. Am I doing this? Okay. Any more question? So, I just welcome. And all those newcomers, if you're interested, always welcome. We are here for almost every day, especially like Sunday and Thursday, Chinese meditation. Join that. You have questions, you can ask all around the lamas. All our senior students, they all have give good answer. And it's a welcome to Buddhist. And I hope you will understand something today. I hope you got something too. Okay. Sonam de tamche seba nye donan juve danam panjo chi jega namshe palan truva ye sepe tsolen drowa isho jamba pawe cheta chemba tang Gondo sambo teyon teshin te teda kunju jeso dalo tse Gewan de da tamche rapto ngo te son shepe gyawa tamche chi ngowa kongla chodo ngapa te dagi gewe tsawan de kunchung sambo sherjin ben ngowa che mang je ba da choke tso tayen rowa kunda peshin che sambo teya chendrawa tada tamba de malen jonjro isho tujiche